I, Mawira, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Confirm your full names and the position you hold within Meru County.
As I've stated, my name is Mawira. I do represent a ward called Mitungu Ward, that is in South Meru County. I'm also a second term serving MCA, and I was formerly the immediate former majority leader of the County Assembly of Meru, of the UDA party in the Assembly. And I was also the mover of the last impeachment motion that was prosecuted in this Honorable Senate, and it was deemed that all the counts were unsubstantiated.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. You have sworn an affidavit that you have produced before the Senate. Confirm that it's the one appearing at page 36 of volume 1 of the governor's response. Confirm that that is your affidavit.
I do confirm.
You do confirm. Attached to your affidavit is also authority to swear, where several members of the County Assembly of Meru have given you authority to plead and swear this affidavit on their behalf. Can you confirm that?
I do confirm that 17 members have given me authority to plead on their behalf.
Honorable Senators, that document appears on the last page, just after page 50. It is not paginated, but it should be page 51. Just after 50, there is authority to swear that has been attached to the affidavit. Confirm that you have the authority of all these members of County Assembly to stand here and offer evidence on their behalf, and if that is the case, why do you have that authority?
I do confirm that members who have appended their signature have given me the authority, and this is because it's a large number that they couldn't all appear here in the Honorable Senate to testify or be witnesses.
Thank you so much. You have also alluded to the fact that you were the mover of the previous motion for impeachment against the governor of Meru. Confirm that that is the motion that has been attached to volume 2 of the governor's response.
I do confirm.
You do confirm?
Yes.
We sat here yesterday, Mr. Witness, and we watched the mover of the current motion, one Zipporah Kenya. Do you know of her relationship with the previous motion for impeachment? And what kind of relationship is there?
Yes, I know one Honorable Zipporah Kenya, the mover of the present motion, very well. And she played a key role in drafting the previous motion and collecting evidence. And also, she sat down in the small team that finally came up with the motion that was brought in the previous impeachment motion in the Senate. And also, Zipporah Kenya, Honorable Zipporah Kenya, took the position of the deputy majority leader due to the fact that once I decided to support the governor, I was removed from that position.
We are heading there, Mr. Witness. For now, confirm that indeed you took the motion for impeachment last year from the current mover of the motion, that it was indeed a motion, but you took that motion from her. Is that the position?
I didn't take the motion from her, but once the small team sat down, it was decided that the motion has to be moved by the leader of the majority party then, and that's when it became my motion.
So it is your evidence then that the instructions to move the impeachment motion last year was a party position?
Yes, I do prove, I do state that.
And by party position, what party are you referring to and at what level?
The UDA party, the leadership at the county level, since before we moved that motion, the then Secretary General of the UDA party and called me and told me that clearly that should not be prosecuted as the position of the UDA party, but the leadership at the county level insisted that it was a party affair. That is the UDA party affair at the county level.
The governor was here last year and she's here again this year. And her defense has always been that she's being targeted by the political leadership of Meru. Having participated in the impeachment process last year and now participating in this process again but on her side, would you care to shed light on whether you are aware of any political influence from the political leadership of Meru, and if so, what kind of influence is there?
That is the position, and maybe, Honorable Speaker, I can give a little narration of how we came up with the second impeachment motion. After political leaders in Meru felt that the governor had gone rogue, members of the county assembly were mobilized upon party lines, and the first party to do that was the UDA party, where personally I was called by the UDA county coordinator then, and he called me for a meeting, and in that meeting that I attended with the majority whip of the UDA party in the assembly, we met with the chair of MP's caucus, one Honorable Rindikiri, who is also a UDA member, and also Honorable Kaduri Moronge, who is the Senator of Meru, and we made a decision that we have to communicate to other UDA members that it is the position of the party at that moment that we have to withdraw all the support for the governor within and without the assembly, and that we are to introduce a new impeachment motion that we call UDA party members or members of the county assembly belonging to the UDA party, and we communicated the same and issued a press conference to that effect. Other parties followed suit, that is Jubilee Party, No-PEO Party, Baz Party, DP. So all the assembly parties issued the same directive that members were to support the impeachment of the governor that we brought to the Senate in the last impeachment motion.
Thank you. Kindly give us the composition of party membership within the Meru County Assembly. How many members are there from each of the political parties?
The Meru County Assembly is comprised of 69 members, that is 45 elected members and 24 nominated members, where the largest party is the UDA party, but with a small margin of the majority, that is 21 members. The next party with or the minority party is the Baz Party, which has got 20 members. Then we have Jubilee, which has got 11 members. We have PNU, we have No-PEO, we have DP, and also we have independents.
So is it your testimony that all these political parties were united in the quest to remove the governor of Meru?
That is true.
And we also watched the move of the current motion on TV, saying that it is the business of the Meru County Assembly to impeach the governor. And I was quick to translate the use of the word business into the Swahili language, biashara, connoting that there was monetary benefit by people who participate in the impeachment of the governor. Are you aware of any monetary incentives by people who either support the impeachment motion or any reprimand for any person that does not support the impeachment motion?
Yes, it is true that members of the assembly do benefit financially during these impeachment processes. And because I'm on oath, I can only state that it was during the first impeachment motion that was defeated in this Honorable Senate that there was no inducement. The second one, there was a lot of inducement, and even this one, I believe there is a lot of inducement, and those who have not been in support of the impeachment motion have severely suffered on the hands of the assembly.
Let us talk about the incentives that you're talking about. What nature are those incentives and where do they come from?
For example, right now when we are here in this, during these proceedings, members have been facilitated for more than 5 days to be in Nairobi, where they draw per diems and DSAs. And also, I'm aware that during this process, members were also put into a common area where they were held.
Before you proceed there, Honorable Zipporah was here yesterday, and I posed that question to her, and she denied categorically that any of the MCAs within Meru is earning allowances for this process. Are you saying that she lied, that you have yourself received these allowances during the last impeachment, and you received the same for this impeachment?
Yes, because we were facilitated by the Assembly to be in Nairobi for around five days, where we received DSAs and per diems.
How much do you receive as members of County Assembly whenever you appear at the Senate for the impeachment?
According to the directions or guidance by the SRC, whenever members are out in a county headquarters, they draw 14,000, which is the DSA for all county headquarters. So even here in Nairobi, they draw 14,000. Then they also facilitated or given transport back to and fro from Meru.
Does the County Assembly facilitate all the 69 members of County Assembly?
Not always, unless there's a common cause. That's when maybe they can.
I'm asking for the impeachment processes that you are aware of, the second and third, last November and this one. Does the County Assembly facilitate all the members of the County Assembly?
The second impeachment motion, all members, only members who are in support of the impeachment motion were the ones who are facilitated. For this one, they sent out messages to everybody indicating that we should be in Nairobi for the Senate proceedings for about 5 days.
My understanding of the workings of the County Assembly is that you are only entitled to allowances if you are out on official duties and for a very specific purpose. Under what vote do you get these allowances?
Sorry?
Under what vote do you get these allowances?
Under what?
Under what vote? Under what?
Domestic travel. Domestic travel. It's actually domestic travel and accommodation.
For all the members of County Assembly?
Yes.
I want to refer you to page 382, volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents. Tell us the amount of expenses under domestic travels. 382 of volume 2 of the County Assembly. Are you at page 382 of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents?
Yes, I'm there.
How much is amount indicated as having been utilized under domestic travels? Have you identified that? Perhaps we can move, as we look for it, at page 272 of volume 1B. Tell us what was the Auditor General's comment on the county government's, County Assembly's expense. Page 272, volume 1B. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
As the Auditor General flagged impeachment as a project of the county?
It is flagged as an activity of the County Assembly of Meru. Motions for the impeachment of the governor, Meru County, 2 motions for the 2 impeachment attempts.
Would the Auditor General flag a project if it had no monetary implication to the taxpayer?
No, because it should marry the financial statement, so it indicates that there was some monetary implication in that activity.
In your Have you now found page 382, volume 2 of the County Assembly? Tell us the expenses involved within the Meru County Assembly.
The County Assembly spent that 5.50 million on committee sitting allowances for the 68 MCAs against an annual budget allocation of 71.36. The average monthly sitting allowance was 57.63, and the County Assembly has established 27 committees.
Thank you. As I move to the next issue, confirm that each MCA that was in support of the motion last year walked away with at least 80,000 as facilitation from taxpayer, and that they are likely to walk away with the same amount this year.
That one I confirm, because the DSA's paid was for 5 days and the transport allowance of 10,000.
So if we were to look at the 49 MCAs that are in support of this motion, times 80, that would be around 4 million Kenya shillings?
Yes, on average.
Thank you. Let us proceed to the next issue. Well, we were in Senate last year, in November. You lost the impeachment motion, correct?
Yes, all the counts were not substantiated.
They were not substantiated. Tell us what transpired immediately when you lost the motion. Were there any reconciliatory efforts from your side? And by your side, I mean the members of the County Assembly that were in support of the impeachment motion. Were there any efforts to reconcile with the governor and have a working relationship with her?
There were none, and immediately we lost the impeachment motion. The following day, we met in a hotel in Nairobi, where all the 59 members and the Speaker of the Assembly were in support of the impeachment motion, together with the Deputy Governor and Honorable Mporo Abori came together. And in that meeting, it was deliberated that members should be taken for a retreat to freshen up and maybe relax.
Do you recall the name of the hotel where you attended and you had this meeting?
Yes, Sunstar Hotel in Nairobi.
Sunstar Hotel in Nairobi?
Yes.
You confirm that that meeting took place the following day after you lost the impeachment motion?
That is true.
What were the resolutions of that meeting?
I was just stating that it was agreed that the Assembly facilitates members for a retreat, for members to go and relax and freshen up maybe after the vigorous impeachment process that they taken. And then immediately after that...
The retreat was in addition to the 80,000 that each of you had pocketed?
No, it was a new retreat that members...
I'm saying it was in addition to what you had
Yes, in addition
pocketed.
in addition to.
Okay, proceed.
So we agreed that we'll be facilitating for a whole week, and we went to Mombasa for a whole week where we were facilitated along committee lines. Therefore, members who had been de-whipped earlier from committees were not participants, and we did committee work for 2 days. And for the rest of the days, we sat down to organize and plan on how to sabotage the government so that it doesn't work. And that is when the time it was agreed that a petition be introduced in the County Assembly to try and impeach.
Mr. Mawira, you are using very strong terms here. Is it your evidence that members of the County Assembly at taxpayers' expense went to Mombasa and planned on how to sabotage the governor? And you're saying that on oath?
That is my evidence, and I want to say to this Honorable Senate, that is when it was agreed that a petition be introduced in the Assembly, petitioning or praying that all CCs for the county government of Meru, chief officers, the county secretary and chief of staff be impeached so that the government can be sabotaged and does not function, because we have already lost the impeachment motion.
What petition is that you're talking about, and was that resolution ever acted upon, to the best of your knowledge?
It was acted upon because immediately we went back to Meru. A petition was brought to the Assembly, praying for or requesting that the county assembly conducts or an investigation on around 7 CECs, I think 3 chief officers and the county secretary and the chief of staff, that culminated to a report of the Joint Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs recommending the impeachment of or the removal from office of the county secretary and the chief of staff, and also give members of the assembly freedom, or they were at liberty, to introduce impeachment motions for 3 CECs, and that was tabled in the assembly.
I want you to look at page 90 to 145 of the county assembly's documents. That should be volume.
Page 92
of volume 2 of the county assembly's documents, page 90 to 145. Can you take us to the place where you now term as the evidence of the resolution that was arrived at in Mombasa of impeaching, or rather sabotaging, in your own words, the governor's government by impeaching the CECs? Page 90.
Page 90 of volume.
Of the county government's exhibits.
This one exhibit for the governor.
I'll retrieve it shortly. So, as we retrieve that, confirm what transpired in actuation of that resolution.
I do confirm that the petition was brought to the assembly, and it was committed to a joint committee of JLAC, or Justice and Legal Affairs, and also the Labour Committee. And the resolutions or the recommendations of the committee came back that 3 CECs.
Before you proceed, Honorable Senators, I'm referring to volume 4 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents at page 90 to 145. That's volume 4, County Assembly's bundle of documents. But, Mr. Witness, when I look at that petition, it is signed by members of the public. What relationship is there between these members of public or petitioners and members of the County Assembly?
That is on page
90 to 145, volume 4.
Yes, the petition is signed by members of the public, but in that meeting it was agreed that members of the County Assembly look for friendly members of the public who can introduce the motion, or the petition, sorry, and one is a perennial petition in the Assembly. One, Salesio Mutuma, who has signed that petition, has introduced more than, I think, 20 or 30 petitions in that Assembly.
Is it your evidence then that these petitioners were procured by the members of the County Assembly for the purposes of appearing as if it was the public behind the impeachments?
I've stated so.
That is your evidence?
Yes.
How soon after the first impeachment was that petition brought before the Assembly?
In less than a month.
In less than a month. Was there any other resolution by members of the County Assembly to frustrate Her Excellency's government, and if so, in what way?
It was also agreed that we have to sabotage the government through the budget making process, where members agreed that they will do an itemized budget, despite of the fact that the county government has always prepared an itemized budget, and also do an allocation to their respective wants at that point.
I am having serious problems, Mr. Witness, to fathom that members of the County Assembly would sit and scheme against the executive. Are you sure of your evidence? And do you really want to go on record as a witness of events that really transpired?
That is very true, because members were very bitter, because initially they had been assured that the governor of Meru was going. So
who had assured them? You are talking of assurance. Who
the political class of leaders, especially those at the national level, but come from Meru County.
The Meru County. I want you to say that again for record purposes. Who, and if you're capable, you can mention names of people you think, or you know, not think, were giving that kind of assurance.
I'm saying,
Mr. Speaker, sir, while I do not like objecting, perhaps it would be important, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the witness limits himself to the evidence before the assembly, so that he does not open Pandora's box and goes on a fishing expedition, mention names that will not be brought before you or before us for cross-examination or re-examination. That line will greatly prejudice our case unless we are assured that the names that shall be put on record will be made available for further re-examination. I am most obliged.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may respond to that issue. It is the governor's case that she is a victim of political witch hunt by the political leadership in Meru. Those facts have been alluded to in the affidavit of the witness. We have annexed video evidence which we will play. It is only fair for counsel to allow me conclude on that issue, unless of course I'm touching on a live nerve that he's aware of.
Mr. Speaker, sir, you may allow me in response.
Counsel for the County Assembly.
Yes,
just take your seat. You know, yesterday I gave you some latitude because the counsel for the governor rose on a point of order on the very same issue. But I gave you latitude so that we run this smoothly. Kindly allow the governor to present her case the best way she knows how. Having said that, counsel for the governor, do not veer off so far from what is already before us by bringing very new material, which then will not able the counsel for the county assembly to respond adequately. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I will be pursuing that line shortly, Mr. Witness. It is your testimony that you had been assured that the governor would indeed go home.
yes, you see what happened, Honorable Speaker. Immediately after the first impeachment came to this assembly, came to this Honorable Senate, and all the counts were still unsubstantiated, we went back to Meru, and the president of this country, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, and the deputy president initiated a reconciliation between the assembly and the executive, and the team from the assembly and the team from the executive led by the governor, while the team from the assembly was led by the speaker, stayed here at the office of the deputy president for 3 days, and we resolved all the matters that and brought us to the first impeachment motion. And therefore, when we went back to Meru, that was maybe for, I think, approximately from February, we had a cordial working relationship between the executive and the assembly, and that is the time that the assembly approved budgets for the school feeding program, the one cow, one needy family program, and so many others. But immediately when the political class sat down and felt maybe the governor had gone rogue, they started mobilizing us, members, intimating to us that now it was time to remove the governor from the office. So many members were reluctant because initially they had a good working relationship with the governor, but now we were mobilized along the political party lines, and that is when we were assured that for sure this time the governor of Meru will not come back to Meru as the governor.
Thank you. You have alluded to a meeting that took place at Mombasa, and another meeting that was convened in Nanyuki.
Yes.
After 1 month.
Yes.
Kindly explain to us what transpired in Nanyuki, and if you can remember, who attended that meeting, what was the agenda, and what were the resolutions?
Just before Christmas, and when news for the famous blogger, one sniper, started circulating that he was missing, the county assembly members were facilitated to go to Nanyuki for committee work. And after finishing the committee work, 59 members who had supported the impeachment process were left for a meeting which was attended by all the MPs from Meru, the former CS for Agriculture, in the exclusion of the senator only. All the other political class was there. And we were urged and asked to remain united so that the cause that we had just lost, we can maybe later, at a later date, and we were told that is by 2024 June, the cause that we, or the fight that we had lost will be brought back, and by that time, for sure, we'll win it.
The cause that you're talking about, what cause is this that you're being urged to continue pursuing?
It was impeaching the governor of Meru.
It was impeaching the governor of Meru. Did at any time the political class within Meru County preach peace, unity, you having a working relationship with the governor of Meru? Did they do that at any moment?
At no point did anybody talk about reconciliation or peace.
How was this meeting facilitated that took place in Nanyuki?
It was facilitated by the assembly through committees. Then later, after the meeting ended, we were given cash of 20,000 each, and we were told it was for Christmas.
Who gave you the 20,000?
The speaker shared it among his members, but of course it was from the members who had attended that meeting, the political class that attended.
By speaker, you mean which speaker? Of which?
Speaker of the County Assembly of Meru, sorry.
Yes, we are in a Senate which has a speaker.
Certainly it cannot be me, counsel for the government.
I wanted to have that on record, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you for that clarification. It was the Speaker of County Assembly of Meru.
Yes.
Thank you. How many MCAs were in Nanyuki for the three districts?
For the committee work, all members were there, the 69 members, but for the meeting, it was for the 59 members only who had supported the impeachment process for the governor.
So each of the 59 got 20,000 shillings from the speaker?
Yes.
Might you know where that money had come from?
It wasn't disclosed, but we were told it was a Christmas gift from the political leaders who were there that time. I stated that all the members of National Assembly from Meru were there in the exclusion of the senator only. The women rep was there, and also the former CS Agriculture was in that meeting.
And you are talking about the political leadership across the political divide, not just one political party?
Yes, across the political parties or the political divide.
Were you given any timelines or any specifics on how you would prosecute the resolution that had been arrived at?
Of course, we gave all the plans that we reached at in Mombasa, and then we were told to forge ahead with them. And then for the impeachment of the governor was to be reintroduced on or around June 2024.
You have talked about other ways of frustrating Her Excellency's government. What other ways were agreed upon, if any, on how you would frustrate the governor of Meru?
The main agreement was that one will sabotage the government of Meru through the budget making process from the CADP, the CFSP going onward. And also it was agreed that there were programs that were being undertaken by the county government of Meru that were making the governor very popular on the ground, and therefore they had to be stopped. And that was the school feeding program for ECD learners, and also the one cow, one needy family program that was being carried out by the county government of Meru.
So is it your evidence that indeed members of the county assembly schemed to have the ECD school feeding program scrapped for the sole purpose of sabotaging the governor's governance within the county?
Yes, and indeed it happened in the assembly where the Committee on Agriculture tabled a report and declared that there was no policy for the school feeding program, and for the one cow, one needy family program, and it was halted, and also the school feeding program was halted by the same assembly.
Mr. Mawira, the members of the County Assembly of Meru are public officers.
Yes.
Paid by taxpayers.
Yes.
How does it make you feel that you are part of a scheme to frustrate the very mwananchi that has elected you to public office, to the extent of scrapping the school feeding of the poor children for political gain? How does it make you feel?
It is very
and what
unfortunate.
does it say about the County Assembly of Meru?
It is very unfortunate and regrettable that public servants can sit down and try to sabotage the same wananchi who have voted for them. And it also shows the level of desperation or the laws that the County Assembly of Meru can go so as to remove from office one Governor Mawira Mwangaza.
Thank you. Yesterday, there was a clip that was played here at the Senate, and there was one gentleman who was very vocal, and the mover of the motion said that that gentleman is not a leader within Meru County. Do you recall that?
Maybe the clip can be played so that I can.
Can we watch VKM 13? VKM 13. We may, Mr. Speaker, sir, we may need an interpreter on standby. Mr. Speaker, sir, with your indulgence, we may need a translator of the Meru language with your guidance.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly usher in the translator.
Thank you. Can we watch VKM 13?
As I said, I want to tell the County Assembly of Meru, we can't wait any longer. We lost in the second impeachment. Give us the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth impeachment. And within a month's time, we want to see the County Assembly of Meru. Give us that. Finally, as I said, that today, when Kraito Moronge, when Mweshimiwa Munya, when Kadhuri Moronge, when CS Rentore, when Motuma Ntoidhikia, when Ayubu Bundi, when Indani Kere, and the other members of the assembly will sit down and have a cup of tea and they even say nothing, that today the redemption of Meru will be nigh.
This time round, we can pause there as we wait for the interpreter is here. Thank you. We can proceed with the clip. This time round,
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, my name is Mutembei. I'm from KBC, Mago FM, as an interpreter. Kindly, can we play the clip now? We are begging you to support us. And this time round, we don't want many stories.
We want to be very simple.
We want it to be very simple. We'll come to Senate. Kathuri.
I know you are there, our senator. Tutaleta huyo mama huko. Na this time round, hata sisi mtatuona kama wa mama. Akitoa kitambaa tunatoa. Okay, japezo hivyo kwa kuigelwa kiao.
And amesema, and then we'll bring that mother there and we'll be ready. If she cries, we will also cry as the women from the county.
So, sisi kama County Assembly ya Meru, we are determined.
We, as the County Assembly of Meru, we are ready to to help you for whatever cost.
Actually, some of us have even made a decision.
Actually, many of us have made a decision.
Let the Meru part only. You know, we understand Kiswahili, we do understand English.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We can proceed with the clip uninterrupted when it is in Kiswahili and English.
We are ending so that the Meru can be out of the mess that it is. So ile kitu tunataka kuomba tu, naona tuko na wafoma waziri hapa, Mheshimiwa Munya, Mheshimiwa Kadhuri, Mheshimiwa Mitura and the deputy governor. Batu watawangaratania.
Kindly, can we get back a little? Just that one.
Batu watawangaratania.
I can see we have honorables here, Honorable Munya and others. Kindly don't disrupt the process and never take us around. Sorry, kindly a little back.
Mr. Interpreter, kindly be attentive. We are losing time.
Maybe something like that can flow kindly, just a little something. Just prepare yourself. It's you who will help us. Don't let us down. And because we're men, we can sit down and talk like elders.
So
we heard whatever you were saying with our ears.
Niwaambie rais amesikia shinda zile tuliko nazo Meru.
Thank you. Honorable witness, and I would request the translator to remain by, with your permission, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Witness, kindly explain to us, if you are aware, the venue of this meeting, who are in attendance, and what was being said. And most importantly, the gentleman who spoke first, who is he?
Yes, it was in Abario, in parts of the Gembe region, where all members of the, members of the county assembly, the majority who support the impeachment process were there. And also other leaders were there, the former governor, Honorable Munya. We had the CS then for agriculture. Our beloved senator was there also. And the first gentleman who spoke is called Mwendia Muguna alias Alaji, who is the Secretary General for the Mcas party at the county level for the county of Meru.
The mover of the motion was here yesterday, and she said that that gentleman is not a leader of any political party in Meru. What would your evidence be?
He is the Secretary General for the Mcas party in Meru County, and previously he also served in the government of Governor Kirito as the Director of Events, and previously in 2013 he was a nominated councillor, a nominated MCA by the Mcas party in the County Assembly of Meru.
Thank you. So briefly, what transpired in that meeting? What were the resolutions? What were the pleas by the various speakers?
The plea from various speakers that we have seen from that video is for the continuation of the removal of the governor of Meru from office through impeachment.
And did you get a response to the pleas?
From who?
Did you get any response from the attendees of the plea that you had made? That rather the people speaking had made?
Yeah, the members of the county assembly at the crowd that was there applauded for those pleas.
There is a certain lady in that clip who
Yes.
says, who we've just heard say, we will go to the Senate and take that woman, and this time round, we will take a woman who will also cry. Who is that person uttering those words?
That is a member of the county assembly of Meru nominated by the Mcas party, and she was stating that because indicating that because maybe the governor is a woman, and maybe the Senate saves the governor because of her gender, then the next impeachment process will be initiated by a woman, so that when they come to the Senate, if the governor sheds tears, they also shed tears to maybe for the Senate to sympathize with them.
Is it then a surprise that this impeachment motion was brought by a woman? And have the translator tell us what he has just said. We can play it again for
the Secretary General of Mcas.
We can pause.
The Secretary General for the party of BAS.
So that gentleman introduces himself in the capacity that he holds. Is that so, Mr. Witness?
That is true.
Thank you. Let us proceed.
Nataka kusema hivi, na hii ni amri. Hii ni amri. Every MCA ambaye anasimama ama ameteuliwa na chama cha BAS, minority leader na uongozi wa assembly, kama kunaye amehasi akaondoka njia yenu, mwambieni kimo chake kimotoni. Huyo apende asipende ataenda. Lazima kila mmoja atii amri, na leo ni amri tunatoa. Hakuna wa kusimama kando, hata hiyo kiti ulichonacho tutachukua. Kwa hivyo tunataka kuambia viongozi, wakishindwa na Kawera, watuachie sisi wananchi, tuende tumutoe hiyo nyumba yake. Ukaona libaya latendeka, zuia kwa nguvu ya mwili. Ukashindwa kuzuia kwa nguvu ya mwili, zuia kwa mdomo yako. Ukashindwa kuzuia kwa mdomo, chukia kwa roho yako. Na hiyo ndio udhaifu wa imani, kuchukia kwa roho. Finally,
we can pause and have the...
Finally, I'm very excited now that Maui is not paying the cess or the tax. No one is going to pay anymore. Even those metals should be sold like scrap metals. Those metals over there should be sold like scrap metals. We are going to advertise. We're going to say that there is nowhere that tax will be collected anymore. We'll never give out our money to be used in corruption during in Senate.
Hatutafanya hivyo mara ingine. Tumekubaliana kwa mikono. Kwa mikono. Asanteni sana. The Secretary.
Thank you. Mr. Witness, you have confirmed that this gentleman is the Secretary General of BAS Party at the county level.
In fact, he stated the same himself in that clip.
And where was this event? What was taking place and who were in attendance, if you are aware?
It was held at Meru Stadium in Meru during requirements for the late sniper. Members of the county assembly were present. Other leaders from also the National Assembly were present, and members of the public.
What is your intervention? Certainly it cannot be a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, there was an inconsistency between the interpretation, the verbal, and the whatever we saw written on the screen, particularly within that clip that relates to bribe of the Senate. The interpreter did not mention bribe, but the transcript on the screen mentioned bribe. Could that be made clear, Mr. Speaker?
Can you play the clip again? And Mr. Interpreter.
Yes, sir.
You know the Meru language very well, yeah?
Yes, Mr. Speaker,
Okay,
sir.
give us the true translation.
All right, thank you.
General you can play to the very end. The very end, I think the last few seconds.
I'm very excited now that Maua is not paying cess or tax to the government. And they are not going to pay anymore. Even those metals should be sold like scrap metals. Those metals over there should be sold like scrap metals. And we are going to announce that there is nowhere that tax will be collected. To give out our money to go and bribe a Senate.
Thank you. We can pause there. I think for the sake of Honorable Kajwang, that is now clear. Mr. Witness,
Is it now clear, Senator, for Homa Bay? You got it clearly?
In the first instance, the translator used the word to corrupt the Senate. In the second instance, he's used the word to bribe the Senate. Perhaps I leave it to the senators to confirm whether those are synonyms.
You know, English and Meru sometimes can vary drastically.
Indeed, I can confirm that, my lord.
Proceed.
So, the gentleman is talking about selling some metals as scrap. What metals is he referring to?
It is the cess stand, which is used to collect revenue for the Meru County government.
So he's inciting members of the public, number one, not to pay revenue, and number two, to even destroy public property.
That is true.
That's true. And why is he telling them to do that?
He is alluding to the fact that the revenue collected by the county government of Meru is used to bribe the Senate during impeachment processes.
Thank you. Can we now watch VKM 18? From the beginning.
Tutatembea na hii familia kwa vyovyote vile Mungu akitujalia.
The body of Sniper is over there.
Viongozi tukishikana na hawa hakuna kitu tutashindwa, tutasaidia hii familia. So familia Sniper, personally mimi mwenyewe nitafanya maneno mimi mwenyewe, na pia wabunge tutasaidiana tuone hii familia imekaa vizuri.
Na inaonekana mauaji yalifanyika na gavana wa Meru. Tunaomba gavana wa Meru leo na bwana wake wakamata leo. Mnakubaliana na mimi? Wasipomkamata leo, sisi wa Meru tutawasha moto Meru.
Si basi tutoe sandaka tuweke hapo kwa Sniper. 247 then account number 07 ndero akiro ina cash
for the one who has cash.
Na cash ya
those who got that cash should bring here
Bishop Waja, Bishop Rungama.
To the bishop here. Bishop, can you stand?
Choaga Antoa Yukashiwa Roaje as a vote of thanks.
Get a place you can receive that cash. We go dropping that cash over there.
We can stop there for now. Mr. Witness, where was this event and who are the people that we have just watched in that video so far?
That was also another requiem held at Kinoru Stadium, requiem for the late sniper. And the speakers who have already been shown in that clip, we have Honorable Rendekiri, member of Parliament for Bori. We have also seen another public member from Egembe. We have also seen the Speaker of the County Assembly of Meru.
What role was the Speaker playing in this event?
He is passing the mic to one Alhaji Omonde Muguna. Therefore, I deem he was the MC of that event.
We have seen about Sadaka for a pay bill and some other forms. Kindly explain what you were able to understand.
It was money being raised for the late sniper's family, and the speaker is stating that money can be raised to the pay bill number provided, and he also states that whoever asks cash can hand it over to the bishop for the same purpose.
Was cash raised during the event, to the best of your understanding, not through the pay bill? Was cash raised? Because we see him giving a bishop that task of collecting cash. Was there any cash?
Of course, because it was in a public meeting, there ought to have been cash that was raised in that meeting.
Thank you. We have also had utterances by one person directed to the governor. Who is that individual?
I didn't capture that.
There is an individual talking about the murder of Sniper and saying that they are going to lit fire within Meru.
Oh yes, he's a political activist in Meru County.
Thank you. Let us proceed and watch the remaining part of the video.
Nderwa kiroi na cash. Na choaga Antoa Yukashiwa Roaje pa thanks. Tutatoke la kashiwa.
The house of shame, that house of greed, called the Senate, a house of shame, a house of greed. Aingeturudishia ugonjwa huu Meru, atungekuwa hapa. Therefore, I am sounding people like Kimbone Garware na wale wengine, tumbo zenu zikaongoza nyinyi mpaka ugonjwa ulio Meru, mukafanya ugonjwa huo ukakita. Shame on you, house of shame. Shame on you, house of greed. And we are ashamed that institution in Kenya, which is supposed to safeguard the interests of the people of Kenya, succumbed to a few coins, a few cents. Shetani ashindwe. Hii ugonjwa atunge kuwa nao wakati huu. Kumbukeni, Mbone Arware, I want to remind you, ulisimama mbunge la Senate, ukaita watu wa Meru waenda wazimu. Siku ya leo nataka kutadharisha wa Meru, wamekuonyesha sio wa Meru waenda wazimu, ni nyinyi. Njumba la haibu, njumba la kulimia tumba zao, ni nyinyi waenda wazimu, sio sisi. Na ine.
Thank you. I do not know whether you want to make any comments in respect to that video, but I felt that it is self-explanatory.
I do not wish to comment because it is regrettable and the ones are self-explanatory.
Now, Mr. Mawira, kindly, in very few minutes, talk about the governor's efforts. Thank you for the indication of time. Tell us any efforts that you are aware of that the governor of Meru made to reconcile with leaders, if any, and what role you played. Because the assumption has been that the governor is a lone ranger who does not work with any member of the county assembly and other political leaders within Meru.
In fact, immediately after the second impeachment failed in the Senate, the governor of Meru went back to Meru and made a clarion call that let all leaders come together and unite. She made a call for reconciliation and also asked for forgiveness if she had wronged any leader in Meru. And thereafter, the governor of Meru went ahead and stopped Okolea programs which had aggrieved members of the county assembly. Thereafter, the governor trying to reach out to me, myself as the leader of the majority party at that time, and I hidden to the call where I went and listened to her carefully. And she told me the plans that she had, that she was inviting all the members of the county assembly to come and work together with her. And at that moment, I asked her to give me time as the leader of the majority party to go and try reach out to other members so that maybe she can organize a meeting with them and try to forge or try to bring reconciliation. After I left, I went and reached out to the members of the county assembly, and they all declined, especially the leadership of the county assembly, declined to attend a meeting with the governor. And once I communicated that message back to the governor, she asked me if she can make our efforts about reaching out public and state that we had met, and I agreed because I was convinced about her genuineness that time. And she went ahead and made that remark that the majority leader of the government of the county assembly of Meru and agreed to reconcile and work with her. Immediately thereafter, a meeting was convened by the majority whip of the county assembly of Meru together with the speaker for the 59 members who were in support of the impeachment process, where during that meeting myself, I was tasked to explain if I was still for the cause of removing the governor from office because of the statement that the governor had made. And if so, I should apologize to the members because I intended to maybe bring disunity or disarray their cause. At that point, myself, I stood up and told them that it was the time. A time had come that every member of the county assembly should be given freedom to exercise their democratic right of either to support Governor Mawira Mwangaza or to oppose her. What followed immediately, I walked out of that meeting because I declined to apologize or tell them if I was for that cause. Immediately after that, a press conference was issued, led by the majority whip, where they declared because of some they have to do some alignments in the leadership positions of the assembly, so that the business of the assembly cannot be disrupted by maybe leaders who abandoned that cause. At that point, Honorable Speaker, because that was a press conference that was covered nationally, the then Secretary General of the UDA party nationally, one Honorable Cleophas Malala, wrote a letter to myself and to the whip indicating that there should be no leadership changes in the positions of the majority party, and invited us for a meeting that we attended in Nairobi. And during that meeting, the majority of members saying that the problem of Meru County was the majority leader, and it is at that point that I was removed as the majority leader of the majority party in the assembly. And also other changes were made where the deputy majority whip was also removed because we were all in support of the governor of Meru County.
Thank you. Have you adduced any evidence to support that you involved your party leadership at the national level and that they gave a clear directions which were ignored?
Yes, I've adduced the evidence.
Honorable Senators, I want to refer you to pages 470 of volume that is 1B of the governor's case, all the way to page 473. Indeed, they run all the way to page 490. Page 470 to page 491. In fact, we can go all the way to page 500, indicating the complaints by the members of County Assembly who are in support of the governor and who are being victimized for their move. For the sake of time, I would just leave the senators to refer to those documents. Mr. Mawira, what transpired after your removal from the County Assembly? Who took over your position?
My position was taken by the member who was formerly my deputy, and that of the deputy was taken by the mover of the current motion, Honorable Zipporah. And immediately after the changes were made and communicated in the assembly, the leadership of the County Assembly of Meru went further ahead, and removed all the 13 members who are in support of the governor then. You remember during the second impeachment motion, the governor had only 10 members. And when I was tasked to state if I was still for the cause and I walked out, other 2 members followed me, so we became 13. The 13 of us were de-whipped from 3 key select committees. That is the Committee on Budget and Appropriations, County Assembly Committee on Public Accounts, and Committee on Implementation. And thereafter, every person of the 13 who held a leadership position in any of committees of the Assembly were removed from those positions through a vote of no confidence. Therefore, members lost chairmanship of committees, they lost vice chairmanship of committees, and also those who served in the speaker's panel initially were also removed, and the speaker's panel was expanded to 18 members, 8 members, so that it can incorporate the members who, out of the 56, who are not earning any responsibility allowance in that assembly.
I want you to clarify on that issue of expanding the speaker's panel. What was the initial number of members of the speaker's panel?
The initial number that the assembly had approved was 11 members, but in our standing orders, the members of the speaker's panel should be 5, that is the speaker, the deputy speaker, and 3 other members, but it was still expanded to 18 members, so that it can take care of members who are not earning any responsibility allowance and they were in opposition to the governor.
And when you talk about speaker's panel, what kind of allowances, if any, do they draw?
Of course, when you serve in the speaker's panel, you draw some responsibility allowance, and also you benefit from trainings, capacity building, skills improvement, and what have you.
And you said the maximum number of members allowed as per the standing orders are 4.
Yes.
How much money are we losing as taxpayers for the expanded speaker's panel, in your estimation?
In my estimation, every member who serves in the speaker's panel draws around 26 or 27,000 every month as responsibility allowance. They also have special meetings that they draw allowances. And also, of course, they do benefit from DSAs and per diems when they attend trainings and capacity building workshops.
And let us look at page 262, volume 1B. There lies the report of the Auditor General confirming indeed that 18 members of the County Assembly of Meru have been included in the speaker's panel for the purposes of drawing allowances. Are you able to see that?
The one on that page was before the expansion of the committee, the one that was composed of 11 members.
Yes, proceed.
But later it was expanded to 18 members.
To 18
and
members.
It is indeed true that they draw benefits from taxpayers' money.
Thank you. In your assessment, what does that communicate about the County Assembly of Meru?
It clearly shows that the County Assembly, especially the leadership, was going to any length to make sure that no single MCA will decide to either support the governor because of the victimization and intimidation that has been happening, and of course the financial losses that any member who decided to support the governor was undergoing.
Thank you. For the sake of time, I want to conclude. You have alleged that you were not able to exercise your oversight role at the County Assembly during the impeachment process. Is that the case? And how many other members of the County Assembly were not allowed to exercise their mandate?
That is true, because in the first instance, we were denied entrance into the chambers by strangers. Later, the sergeant at arms. Also,
can we watch VKM20? Video VKM20. There. Thank you. So, would you explain to us what is happening and which day was that?
That was the day when the impeachment motion was being prosecuted, and when the first impeachment, the third impeachment motion was introduced in the Assembly, 10 members out of the 56 who are left opposing the governor felt that it was not right for us to continue fighting the infights between the Assembly and the Executive, and 10 of the members joined the 13 of us who were in support of the governor, but later 3 members were intimidated and left the cause, so we were left with a number of 20 members. So during that day, when the impeachment motion was being prosecuted in the Assembly, we came in as a team, and there was an attempt to deny us entry to the chambers so that we cannot prosecute that motion. And also during the process was rushed, and most of us who are in support of the governor, especially me, was denied a chance to contribute to that motion.
Thank you. Previously, you had, through your video VKM10, we may not have time to play it, you had alleged that you were also excluded from crucial meetings of the county where MCA are taken for retreats and other meetings, and you're not involved.
It's true, and I wish maybe that clip can be played.
VKM10, kindly.
I request.
Nonto barabangi baratere Mombasa for 15 days na batu bararegere tuitano auga beti training, lakini na tukarigara training iriku beti Mombasa for 15 days na bangi Tanzania 10 days na batu supporta dirikari ya Meru totia
we can have the translation quickly. Kindly can we go bit by bit kindly so that we can flow. You understand? Right. Okay. Kindly play. Kindly, can we play now?
Katu temania toe MCAs ba Meru.
Maybe we could start from the start, kindly.
Katu temania toe MCAs ba Meru bara ba supporta governor.
Let's meet here as Meru MCAs who support the governor.
Mama, no to bara bangi baratere Mombasa for 15 days.
Because others went to Mombasa for 15 days.
Na batu bararegere tuitano.
And we were denying to go with them.
auga betite training lakini
They said they were going for a training.
parigara training iriku betite Mombasa for 15 days na
But we are having questions. Which kind of training are they going?
Thank you. We can proceed to where the current witness is speaking for the sake of time.
na tumenye maendeleo jaraja kuja mashinani.
Toteko manyorera abanga bangi no watu gitrain MCS bonde.
We don't know how it was planned, because if it was about all MCAs,
Gute MCA makwiny.
there are no MCAs who are two signs.
MCA ore oringeri kura no round nominated.
There is no difference between MCA who was elected and the one who was nominated.
Ni MCA wa mbunge ya Meru.
They are all Meru MCAs.
Lakini tukoria clerk
But when we trying to ask the county clerk,
wa mbunge na tuirire patwe where instructions.
he saying that he was given instructions.
After kamukonji kakudidwa.
After a kind of a discussion was done,
Erwani majority leader, minority leader.
he was advised.
You can stop there. So, Mr. Witness, what had happened during this event?
What had happened, members of the county assembly, the 56 at that time, who were in support or in opposition to the governor, had been facilitated for 15 days training in Mombasa, where they are going to be taken through the budget making process, and the 13 of us were left out without no single explanation, simply because you are supporting the governor of Meru.
So, is it your evidence that you have been punished and targeted for supporting the governor?
We have been punished, we have been ridiculed, we have been intimidated, we have been threatened just because we decided to support the governor of Meru. That is true.
Does the governor have any working relationship with other groups within the county?
Of course, it's true she has a working relationship with other groups, maybe religious leaders, women groups, faction of Jurin Cheke, so many other groups.
Let us watch briefly VKM14.
Council, if I may interrupt you, you have less than 15 minutes. And I see on the list that you still needed to call 3 other witnesses, one including the governor. So will you be able to manage that within the 15 minutes?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. This is a very crucial witness for us. I will only take the next 3 minutes with him. Then we reserve the remaining minute for one more witness, who is the governor.
Very well.
We will drop the others. Thank you. Mr. Mawira, can we watch VKM14?
Tuombe yule mama Meru. Yule mama ameumia. Mimi hata mimi nilikuwa napinga mama. Lakini siku ile tulikaa vile aliambiwa na rais, aende akae chini na kila kiongozi, si kama walemavu pale, tulikaa na yeye chini na tulizaelewa mama. Na mama akakubali kufanya kazi na walemavu. Kwa hivyo nataka kuomba walemavu wote Kenya na wale viongozi tuko nao hapa, hata hao wa Nairobi, mjaribu kutuombea Meru. Watu wote waheshimu sheria na waheshimu katiba. Wajua hata kama kuna kimila Meru, kuna naye sheria ilipitizwa 2010 ya kusema mama uwe mwanaume uwe nani, sisi zote ni iko. Hakuna mchichana, hakuna kijana, hakuna mama, hakuna mwanaume. Lakini kwetu Meru ile kimila tu inaendelea pale. Wale viongozi wote Kawira alianguza wakati wa kuomba kura 2022. Hata mimi nikiwa mmoja wao. Hatusikiangi vizuri kama tunaongozwa na mama. Lakini mimi nimetii. Nimejua mama ndio kiongozi wa pale Meru, na alichaguliwa na watu, na alichaguliwa na independent. Kwa hivyo nataka kumuomba rais, nataka kumuomba Raila, nataka kumuomba Musalia, nataka kuomba Gachagua. Mjue msiposikilia akina mama aswa Meru, msiposikilia huyo mama ataanguzwa. Watu wengi wanasema county to dissolve county. Utadissolve county aje na mama alichaguliwa na watu? Huyu mama alichaguliwa na independence. Ana chake, ana mtu wake. Wala matajiri akina Kiraito, akina Metheka Letore, akina Munya, akina MP wote wanaume wanasikia ni aibu sana kuinamia mama. Lakini wacha niwape example. Mimi ni mlemavu. Mimi ndio nilikuwa mtu wa kwanza kupigana na mama juu ya kimila. Lakini juzi tulienda kotini, tulisomewa sheria. Kwa sababu naamini sheria na naheshimu katiba ya Kenya. Mimi nakuinamia mama Kawira Mwangaza. Nimesurrender.
Thank you.
Nataka kuomba
we can proceed just for a few more minutes.
Viongozi. Wajua kwa nini nacheka wa Kenya? Wa Meru viongozi wetu hawajaamini kuita Kawira Mwangaza kama ni kazi rahisi, wanaona ni kazi ngumu. Wanafikiria wakimpiga through bunge. Kwa sababu MCA wetu wanachangiwa, hata mimi nilikuwa nachanga. Na niko na evidence. Tunawachangia MCA wao wanapewa pesa mpaka tutoe mama. Hatuwezi ongozwa na mama, ndivyo wanasema. Kwa hivyo nataka kuomba wa Kenya hivi na viongozi wetu, wacha tuheshimu huyu mama, ndio alichaguliwa. Nyinyi mko na chama, tuko na chama PNU imesimamiwa na Munya. Tuko na chama PNO inasimamiwa na Mporo wa Bori. Tuko na chama Mbas inasimamiwa na Kiraito Moronge. Tuko na UDA inasimamiwa na Rigathi, inasimamiwa na Ruto, inasimamiwa na Kadhuri Moronge, inasimamiwa na Metheka Lentori. Tuko na chama inaitwa Azimio yenye iko na Jubilee, inasimamiwa na Jeremia Keoni. Mimi ile kitu naomba kwa hizi chama zote, muite watoto wenu wale mulipeleka mbunge ya Meru yenye haina mlemavu, muwaite muwaambie gavana ni mama. Kwa sababu tusiposema hivyo, Meru hata mkindissolve saa hii, mseme tumendissolve county ya Meru, vita itaisha. Kwa sababu wa Meru, yule Mmeru kamili, hata saa hii Mungu anajua, hata Kiraito anajua, Metheka anajua, Munya anajua, hata tukirundi kwa ndebe saa hii, Kawira atapigwa 400,000 na Mmeru yule wa kawaida. Kwa sababu watu wanaona kazi ya huyu mama, wanaona mama hana vita na mtu yoyote, lakini mara
stop there now. We will play it shortly, but Mr. Witness, tell us your summary of the charges that are before the Senate. You have a time to go through the motion of impeachment now and back then in 2023 rather. What are the basis of these charges?
Because I've been present in that assembly since the first impeachment process, what I would like to tell this Honorable Senate, Honorable Speaker, is that the impeachment process has been abused in Meru County Assembly, and it has been weaponized to fight political fights, whereas we know that impeachment should be used sparingly. It should be a measure of the last resort whenever that there are violations of the Constitution and other laws. And therefore, it's my humble submission that the Senate vindicates the governor of Meru from objectivity of the charges that are there, because according to me, the charges are malicious and they are also frivolous in nature.
Do we have specific charges? One of the charges is employing a bloated workforce.
Yes.
Was that a charge that you brought before this Senate last impeachment?
It was.
You have a charge that accuses the governor of dismissing certain employees of boards, one of them being Mr. Mwaki. Is that a charge that you brought and prosecuted before this Senate during the last motion?
It was part of the motion.
There is a specific charge where the governor is accused of misconduct by stating that 86 million shillings was raised in support of the burial of the blogger, Mr. Sniper. What would you say about that specific charge?
Because I was privy to the happenings behind the whatever was happening during the demise of one blogger, Muthiani, I think the governor didn't allude to a specific collection of money because there were several fundraisers that were held in support of that family.
Are you aware of any other forms of fundraising that were done? Did you participate in any yourself?
Yes, personally I participated in the one that was conducted by members of the county assembly, where initially we contributed 1,000 each member, the 59 members who were then opposing the governor, and later we contributed 10,000 each for the same. And also other political leaders contributed to that cause.
By political leaders, who are you referring to? And in your estimation, how much money was raised? And I'm also sorry to ask this, what is the status of that kitty, if you are aware of, and how was it utilized?
The one for the assembly was utilized in conducting the road shows across crisscross in Meru, and other monies were used to hold prayers in various stadiums, as we have seen, Kenoru, Mawira, and others. And by the time I left that group where the fundraising was being held, we had not been accounted for the remainder of the money.
So, when the governor states that to the tune of 86 million might have been raised, is it anywhere near the truth in your estimation, having participated in the fundraisings in various modes?
It will be the truth.
Thank you. I think I will rest this witness and hand him over to cross-examination. Thank you.